Here in the United States, the recent shooting of an unarmed black man by a white police officer in South Carolina has prompted new calls for police to use body cameras. A U.S. congressman is sponsoring legislation to make that mandatory for all state and local law enforcement who receive Justice Department grants. And joining me now is VOA's Doug Bernard to talk more about this. Doug, VOA spoke to Representative Emanuel Cleaver of Missouri about this bill.
That's right.
How much support do they have?
Well, to the degree that any idea in Congress these days has a lot of support, this might just be it. The idea is pretty basic. They're looking for ways. Emanuel Cleaver, representative, a Democrat of Missouri, along with Senator Rand Paul, Republican of Kentucky, also presidential candidate, are looking to find money to fund the use of body cameras, these devices that police wear that record audio and video that can be switched on and off. I think it's important to remember that in the U.S. there is no national police force. We have local police, we have county sheriffs, we have state police. So there are thousands and thousands of jurisdictions. So keeping track of who gets shot and under what circumstances has been very difficult. So the idea is that if police start wearing these cameras, that might lessen the incidence of shootings such as this.
Will they be on all the time? What if they forget to turn it on?
They can be switched on, they can be switched off, and configured to automatically come on or turn off. It all depends on the configuration that the police department wants to use.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the case in South Carolina. How is it added to the outcry over police brutality?
Right. So earlier this year in April, in the town of North Charleston, South Carolina, a 50-year-old African-American man, Walter Scott, was pulled over for, of all things, he had a broken taillight, which is about the most minor infraction you could imagine. Now, we don't know what happened, but a confrontation ensued with police officer Michael Slager. What we do know happened, however, is because a bystander was taping it with their mobile phone, is that Walter Scott was running away and Officer Slager fired 8 times, eventually killing Walter Scott.
Some police are already using these cameras. How's been their feedback?
The feedback has been mixed. I think police initially are reluctant, perhaps, to use them. Remember, these people are in very often dangerous situations. So anything that changes the way that the police and the public interact with each other, I think, is regarded with some reluctance. There are some police departments and police officials, after using them, that say, you know what, we do agree. These do seem to lessen hostile encounters between the police and public, and therefore shootings, unjustified shootings. And so, they get a mixed reaction. There are concerns, though. It's important to remember, on the police side, imagine if every police officer is taping every encounter. You're talking terabytes and terabytes of data. Where is it stored? How long is it stored? Who has access to it? These are important questions. And on the public side, I think there are 2 areas of concern. The first is that one of privacy. I mean, if I'm a police officer, well, they're being recorded, but you're also recording me, and maybe I don't want to be recorded. The other thing I think is a larger concern, and this is for everybody. We see video and we think we know what we're seeing. But I've seen a number of these shots. The cameras move, they jiggle, there's all kinds of noise. So interpreting what's actually taped is really a challenge. And I think we all need to think about how we learn to see what actually happened and not see what we think we see.
That's why they need to take time and not jump to conclusions until all evidence is out there.
Yes.
Very interesting conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
VOA's Doug Bernard.